The camera cuts backstage on Smackdown. The atmosphere is tense. Drew McIntyre is pacing back and forth, hands taped, jaw clenched, eyes cold. There's no music, no entrance, just raw intensity. The interviewer steps into frame and carefully asks Drew about his upcoming Royal Rumble match against Sami Zayn. Drew stops pacing. He slowly turns to the camera. And the look on his face says everything. He says Sami Zayn loves playing the underdog. He says Sami thrives on sympathy, on hope, on the fans believing that somehow, someway, he'll survive. Drew smirks. He says the Royal Rumble isn't about hope. It's about violence. Drew steps closer to the camera, his voice lowering. He says Sami keeps talking about heart, about resilience, about never staying down, but at the Rumble, staying down won't be an option. He says he's watched Sami fight his whole career. He's seen him get up after beatings that should have ended him. But Drew says this time, he's not planning to give Sami that chance. He says one claymore, one moment, and Sami Zayn's fairy tale ends in front of the entire world. The interviewer tries to ask another question, mentioning Sami's past victories and his connection with the fans. Drew cuts her off. He says fans don't save you in the ring. He says respect doesn't protect you. He says when the bell rings, it's just pain, impact, and reality. Drew leans even closer now, his voice filled with venom. He says Sami wants to prove he belongs in the main event conversation, but the Royal Rumble isn't a proving ground, it's a slaughterhouse. He says Sami won't be fighting for opportunity. He'll be fighting to survive. Drew straightens up and laughs darkly. He says when he hits Sami with the claymore, there won't be celebration. There won't be redemption. There will be silence. He looks directly into the camera. He tells Sami to listen carefully. He says train harder than ever. Pray harder than ever. Because at the Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre isn't coming to win. He's coming to hurt. Drew turns and walks off, leaving the interviewer frozen in place as the camera lingers on the empty hallway. The message is clear. The warning has been sent. And Sami Zayn has nowhere to run. Security is barely holding them apart. Drew suddenly shoves the officials aside. He headbutts Sami, hard. Sami crashes into a production crate, collapsing to the floor. The crowd watching on the monitors backstage erupts. Drew doesn't stop. He grabs Sami by the beard and yanks him up. Drew screams that this is just a preview. He drives Sami into the wall shoulder first. Sami drops to a knee, gasping for air. Drew backs up. Claymore. At the last second, Sami dives out of the way. Drew's boot smashes into the wall. Sami explodes back with wild punches. Lefts, rights, pure desperation. He tackles Drew, sending both men crashing to the floor. Officials pile in again, yelling for help. Sami breaks free long enough to shout in Drew's face that he's not scared. That he's never been scared. That the Royal Rumble will be the biggest mistake Drew ever makes. Drew laughs through the chaos. He tells Sami he just wasted his one escape. Officials finally separate them for real this time, dragging Sami one way, Drew the other. Drew keeps shouting over their shoulders that Sami won't make it out of the Rumble on his own feet. The camera catches Sami being helped up. Bruised, shaken, but smiling. He looks straight into the lens and mouths one sentence. "See you at the Rumble." The screen cuts out.